everyone, welcome to Vinay's World YouTube channel. Let's learn English. Today I am going to teach you subject-verb agreement, which is also known as Concord. I am taking this video in Educative Mumbai campus and we are taking this video exclusively in class 16. So before going to start this concept called subject-verb agreement, you should know what is subject and how to identify a subject in a sentence. For example, let's have a look. For example, sentence means a group of words which gives complete sense and it should be in systematic. For example, let's take a sentence called English is a global language. How to identify a subject in a sentence means, for example, this is a subject. How you are going to identify this English as a subject means it should be a noun or pronoun or it should be a gerund. So in order to identify a subject in a sentence, subject should be a noun, pronoun or gerund. For example, if I write he is a good boy, he refers to pronoun here. For example, collecting stamps. Collecting stamps is my hobby. What is collecting here means it is a gerund. So if you want to know the subject in a sentence means it should be a noun or a pronoun or it should be a gerund. For example, right now you can identify a subject in a sentence. In order to know verb, verb means, for example, let's learn verb. Verb is doing three kind of activities to us. For example, it should define state of condition, action, and possession. So, verb is going to define state of condition, action and possession for us. So, we have known be forms, do forms and have forms. For example, we use be forms to represent state of condition. We use do forms to represent action. And we use have forms in order to represent possessions. For example, have form. So, verb should be a state of condition, action, possession. But you can experience auxiliary verbs also. For example, is, was, were, like that. Now, I am going to teach you subject-verb agreement because you have already seen how to identify a subject in a sentence and how to identify verb in a sentence. Now we are going to learn subject-verb agreement, which is also known as Concord. Let's check the rules of subject-verb agreement. If you take the rule 1, singular subject takes singular verb. Here, Ram is playing cricket. If you identify this sentence, Ram is a singular subject here, is singular verb, playing cricket. What does the first rule says here means singular subject always take singular verb. Here, Ram is singular subject, is an auxiliary verb. That too singular verb. Next, if you observe rule 2, if two singular subjects are separated by the conjunction and, then verb becomes plural. For example, Ram and Sham are playing cricket now. In sense, if you observe this sentence, here two people are playing cricket. So two singulars becomes one plural here. So we should take plural verb. Ram and Sham are playing cricket now. So Ram is singular subject, Sham is also singular subject. So we should use plural verb called are. Next, if we move on to third rule, if two singular subjects are separated by the conjunction and if it represents similar idea, person or thing, verb should be singular. You should identify this rule. Verb should be singular here. For example, bread and jam dash good for breakfast. Bread is good for breakfast as well jam is also good for breakfast. It represents similar idea. So we should use singular verb called is. Bread is singular subject, jam is singular subject. So we should use singular verb only because it represents similar idea. And if you take another example called time and tide dash for none. Time never waits for someone and tide also never waits for someone. If we take those two into consideration, time and tide, verb becomes singular, so we should use waits. Now, let's move to next. If the subjects are separated by or, either or in positive case, neither nor in negative case, verb agrees with the nearest subject or second subject. You need to identify what is first subject and second subject in the given sentence. Whenever you are using either or, neither nor, you can get two subjects. Now, if you want to place the right verb, verb agrees with the second subject. Let's take an example here. Either my mother or my father dash going to pay fee tomorrow. So as per the rule, you need to identify the right verb here. According to the rule, if second subject is singular, we should use singular verb. If second subject is plural, we should use plural verb. Now if you take this second subject, this one is first subject and this one is second subject. As per rule, you need to go with second subject. Second subject is father. Father is singular subject here. So we should use singular verb. So is correct answer. Now take another example. Neither the captain nor the players dash playing well today. Here, if you take the captain as first subject is singular here. And if you take the plural, second subject is plural here. Plural, and that too, this is second subject. You should identify one thing. We always depend on second subject whenever you get either or neither nor. Now second subject means players, that is plural, so we should use are. Next, move on to next rule. It is somewhat reverse to this rule. For example, if the subjects are separated by, with, in addition to, as well as, verb agrees with the first subject. If first subject is singular, we should use singular verb. If first subject is plural, we should use plural verb. Let's take an example. The CM, in addition to other ministers, dash in the assembly. The CM is first subject and that too singular. Ministers plural and second subject. Whenever you get in addition to, you need to depend on first subject. So first subject is singular here, so we should use is. For example, my friends as well as my brother dash come to help me. If this is the case, if you identify the first subject, the subject is plural here and second subject is singular. So whenever you get as well as, you need to depend on first subject. So first subject is plural here, so we should use first subject as plural verb. For example, have. One thing you should identify, you never get is, was all the time. It depends. For example, brother means that comes under possession, so we should use have. And next rule is, if we are referring to amount, weight or distance, verb should be singular. For example, rupees 10,000 dash he used to pay at once. So we should use singular verb called is. 50 kg rice bag dash too hard to lift with single hand. For example, even though the rice bag is 50 kg, you should take it as single entity. So we should use singular verb. And 10 km walk dash too long to walk at once. Even though that is a 10 kilometer walk, you should treat it as singular entity. We should use singular verb. Let's move to another rule. Like if we get each, every, everyone, someone, somebody, none, no one, or percentage or fraction, verb should be singular. One thing you should identify here means if we get these things as a subject in a sentence only means you should use singular verb. Let's take an example. Each of the arrangements was nice means the subject start here. If you take this sentence, you can get each as a subject, so we should use was. This means singular verb. Next, one of the terrorists dash kill in the encounter. Even though this is plural, when we use with one of as a subject, verb should be singular. So we use was because that was happened thing. Next, 100% of the students should use English language to get fluency in English. When we use the percentage as a subject in a sentence, obviously verb should be singular. This is all according to the rule. And then when we are using a fraction like 2/3 of the students dash present in the class means is. You should not use are, because when we use a fraction as a subject in a sentence, we should use only singular verb. Next, if we use collective noun with singular subject, verb becomes singular. If we use a collective noun with a plural subject, verb becomes plural. Let's take collective noun like committee. Collective noun. What is collective noun means? Group of person, animal or thing of same kind, that comes under like group, gang, flock of sheep. Like that you can take it as a collective noun. For example, members means plural. When we are using collective noun with the plural subject, verb becomes plural. That is the reason why we placed are here. The members of the committee are inspecting the office records. Let's take another example. The committee is inspecting the office records, because we are taking this as singular entity and we did not get any kind of plural subject here, so we should treat verb as singular, so we use is as answer here. Last but not least, we use each other in between two subjects and one another between two to many subjects. We must trust one another. That means we should have a trust on many people. So we should use one another. Next, the two rivals hated each other. This means the relationship between two people. So we use each other. Thank you for watching.
Please like, share and subscribe to Vinay's World YouTube channel.